Hi guys, I am here with Brahmanyani and I'll let him introduce his entire name in just a moment. Um, I want you all to hear his story of what his life journey has been, in particular on what it was to become to the level of enlightenment that he is now as a yogi monk. But it's the whole story started um, well, I think his whole life this was going to be his plan, but around 17 it became more evident for him. And I'll let him share the details of that. But I first want to preface this for you all to understand that this is a very rare moment that you are getting with a yogi monk, because the level of humbleness that Brahmayani has, and I'm sure most yogi monks have, is that they don't speak their story because they really have worked so hard to be free of ego and to completely become separate of that. So him sharing this has been at my asking for you all to understand more about the level of spiritualism that he has within him. My guru, hopefully some of you will be inspired to want to work with him also, because it's life-changing for me. And so I'm just going to jump right in and ask him to start sharing some of his story. He let me know a few things along the journey because I was asking questions, and it was so surprising to me of what he had to go through, because I had no idea. I thought becoming a monk involved celibacy and silence, and wow, was I completely wrong. What a stereotype. And so I asked him to stop and to save the story for the video, because I wanted to hear it with you all for the first time. And so here we go. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for doing this today. And if you would introduce your whole name, because it's
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Thank you and welcome you all. Thank you for giving this opportunity to share some of the experiences. Okay, so my full name is Swami Nateshananda Brahmanyani Sri Nateshananda, fondly called Swamiji, Swami Nateshananda. So my story, it's not a story, it's the seeking happened to me at the age of 17. I was a common children for the parents. They are a very humble and respectful family. I have 3 elder brother, father, mother, and everything. I was studying. So at the age of 17, suddenly my Purvasham means after taking sannyas, we will not have a family. So that's why we had Purvasham, the earlier family.
okay.
So the Purvasham father he fell down. We were sitting like this, and suddenly he fell down, and he was no more. So I don't have any clue at the time what happened. See, everyone, even now, everyone will be knowing and getting know. There are many people are dying, either in the accident or a war or some fight or some natural calamities or some disease. The death rate is every day is there. It is not that everything is new.
Right.
Every day it is there, but it won't affect us. We are seeing in the television, we are seeing in the news, we are hearing about in the relationship death and everything, but it won't affect that much
until it hits you up close.
Yes, until unless we experience that. So when it will affect us means someone who those who close to us, like it may be a father or a mother or a husband or wife or child or whoever it may be, that close circle. If someone is dying, that time we will not have a, what to say, we will be having so much questions, thousands and thousands of questions, like what is birth, what is death, what is life, after death where are we going.
You know, you did that, but a lot of people don't go do inward and start questioning. They get
Yes.
stuck in that cycle, but you started doing self-inquiry at
Yeah.
that time.
Yes. Yeah. As you told us, it is a life process. Okay, one week will be sadness, then the normal cycle will start. But for me, it's not like that. The moment I lost my father, it's like the whole life is gone for me. I don't know what to do, what is happening, all that. So I was in that. The questions is again and again and again coming. I don't have any answer, because before that I didn't experience anything like that. It's a new for me.
Your life became a before and after.
Yes.
It divided.
Yeah, it's divided. Before that is everything is quite natural. It's in the flow, like a society what taught through us. But after this death, everything is like it's sunya. We means it's like something different. What are we doing here? What is this body? What is this mind? And so many questions.
What are our plans? How important were the plans that we
Yes.
thought we had?
Yes. And more than this inner quest, the fatherhood is responsible for me also, my life. Okay, in India, in West is different. In Indian culture is different.
The family
culture
is so strong here.
Yes, the family culture is so strong. The father, the parents, the father mother is responsible for the children until they get settled. Not until
Settled
they
means
settled
married.
means marriage. Even marriage, if they don't have money or something, they are not able to. The parents will
Wow.
help them.
Wow, what a level of commitment.
Yes, that is a bondage.
And so your father being gone, that changed the entire structure for
Yes,
you.
yes. So I felt nobody is there for me. Nobody is going to take care of me. So I am alone. What am I going to do? So that question, that materialistic questions also, and that question started me to ask these questions. What is life? What is body? What is mind? What is death? What is birth? Where are we coming from? After death, what is happening? Where is my dad now?
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah. So all these questions, that is where the journey begins.
You started studying.
Yes, I started studying many spiritual, because fortunately I am in India. India is a
Full
land
of
of spirituality.
opportunities
Yes, yes.
to study various types
Yes.
of spirituality.
Yes.
With no judgment. I think that's one of the things I'd like to add in is like we have been to several different ashrams where they worship different saints.
Yes.
And no one expects anyone to worship unless
There is no conditions.
There's no conditions.
Yeah. It is our free will. The only thing is devotion. Devotion to anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter you worship Shiva or Parvati or Kali or Jesus or
just have a higher power, have someone that you connect with.
Yes. So that is the power of this land. So I got the chance to go through all this process, like going to the temple and pray, worship, and going to meet more gurus, masters.
At 17, you started going.
I started going, but not completely, because I am studying also. I was studying also.
Because you have a MBA. You're
MBA and chartered accountant. Yes, chartered accountant is a very high education here.
Yes, very highly educated.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that a lot of the yogi monks are highly educated.
Yes.
It's a misconception.
Yeah. See, sannyas, that's what monkhood in the misconception is sannyas means they what to say, the renunciation is not happened because there's a saying that I wanted to remind that their escape from the life. That is what people are thinking. Sannyasis are escaping from the responsibility.
Escaping from responsibility.
It is not that. The thing is, we are taking more responsibility than the normal people.
I am learning that since being here and being able to observe the life.
Yes.
And to have conversations with you, which is what prompted me to want to do this interview, so we can do some corrections for these misconceptions.
Yes.
Understand exactly what you went through for over 20 years now of a journey to become who you are now. So you were studying all the things that was expected of you in society at the same time that you were studying to become a monk.
Yes.
And I'm going to share a little bit here, you guys, is that he wasn't originally supported by his siblings and his mother in going the path of becoming a monk.
3 years they were not allowed me because that is how the structure is. No one was allowed to go to sannyas, this path.
And he's using the word allowed because that's how much respect he has for the family system. Is it was wanted to be, you wanted approval, you wanted them to grant you that.
See, sannyas should happen with their permission. It's not that I can go on my own. It's not like that. So I have waited for their approval.
You were 23 when you got that?
Yeah, not 20, 23 only I left the family. See, 17 to 23, I'm in the journey, like going to all the places like ashram, means monastery, meeting gurus and attending some programs, reading books.
And so 23 is when you separated.
Yes.
And separated. You did get their blessings to do that at that time?
Not that time. After 3 years. Once I leave the family, 3 years they were not.
Was mommy's heart broken?
Yes. Definitely.
I imagine so.
Yeah. So, but now they are happy. They are proud.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like but you chose, which is different because a lot of people can't step away with that. So you like that. How hard was that for you to go off on your own, knowing that you didn't at that point have that blessing?
I cannot say it's a very hard for me. Yes, it is too difficult, but it's not hard for me.
Hard for
because
them.
I chose them.
Yeah.
This path. So I enjoy it throughout. Even now I am enjoying. But it is not that easy.
No, it's not easy at all.
So it is different. So I am enjoying that, but it is difficult.
So let me ask you in a different way. Knowing that your ama was not approving yet, how did you reconcile that within you to go ahead and choose your path?
Yes. See, I had a maturity that everyone is unique. Even though the family bondage and relationship, everything is there. When it comes to the life, everything is individual.
You had the maturity at such a young age to know that.
Yeah, and also I know that the conditions, societal conditions, the father, mother, that emotional drama, everything is there.
Yeah.
So for the sake of the emotional drama, I cannot give up my goal.
You chose yourself.
Yes. So I have to balance both. It needs time. That's it. Time and maturity.
And you knew that they would come around.
Yes.
And you were right.
Yeah. It will happen.
And so when you first left the home, because let's just go, you were doing your studies, getting high levels of education while also visiting ashrams and gurus. It was a dual path. Yes. And
so they were thinking that I am studying. I was studying, but
you were studying more than one thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And so you were doing dual studies.
Yes.
And you chose the path of the guru.
Yes.
And so it was interesting to hear that how much that a guru influences the path of whether someone goes into having a family or going into full devotion work. And we can just go right into what yours was. You were approved to go into full devotion work.
Yes.
What did that mean? Because I know you've shared a few things that you had to learn to separate the mind, body, and spirit from one another, and especially the physical body. In order for you to get to the point that you've been able to have this type of enlightenment that you have, you had to go through a lot of what I would call, and I promise you, all you guys would too, would be a physical suffering to reach enlightenment, and a mental suffering too. I'm going to just jump into one thing that your friend told me when we were at dinner. We had dinner with the first time I got here, we had dinner with a couple of his friends, and who shared a little bit about Brahmayani that he wouldn't, which is how I knew he's not going to talk unless I ask questions. I was shocked at the things I heard, but one thing he said, and I'm probably jumping ahead, was that for a period of 6 months, you all watched bodies burn. And can you kind of go into that a little bit?
Yes. So there is a place called Varanasi, Kashi. That is where this will happen. There is a Ganges. Ganges is a river.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
There is a place called Manikarnika Ghat. Manikarnika Ghat is a place where the dead bodies is burnt. Every day, almost like 100 bodies will be burnt. Every day. Even now, if you go there, over near around the villages, Kasi, they will bring that. There is a saying that if you burn the body in the Ganges, Kasi, they will be liberated.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a belief system.
There's a purification with that river.
Yes, for the soul.
Mm-hmm. So are these bodies burned individually, or are they burned together?
Separate,
Okay.
but it's a very huge area. It will be burning here and there constantly.
So you had to endure the mental side of that, plus the physical sense.
Yeah.
Because let's just be honest and get real. There's an odor that comes with that, a unique smell of flesh burning.
Yes. So, and one more thing, there will not be a smell there. That smell will not be there. That is the beauty of it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So, I would have just seen another assumption.
Yeah. So there will not be a bad smell, nothing.
Do you recall what that was like for you, your first time being there?
Yeah. So I'll tell you what will happen there. So when you sit and look about that burning bodies, your physical and your emotional attachment one by one, slowly will burn away.
I would call that desensitizing. But in the process, you didn't just get used to seeing it, you gained a spiritual experience through it.
Yeah. So, and also the realization will happen, it is just a body. It's getting burned, that's it. So, after that, what is that? It is there in me. That contemplation will start. So now if we see everything is going smooth and we are looking great and speaking and going on, but it is not the contemplation or the thought provoking will not happen. But there, when you sit with around some 100 bodies, dead bodies burning, first the emotion will come out.
Yeah.
The fear will come out.
Because you're still attaching the soul to that body initially. You're seeing the person, and you, through the process, learn to see that the body was never the person.
Yes. And we will get an understanding that anyhow it is going to be burnt. So we are giving the importance for the body now. If you see in our whole life, the fight and whatever the relationship issue is happening because of this outer look.
Surface, there's so much very superficial.
Yes, superficial. I can say in West it's more.
Yes. Yes. Lots of people trying to compete, or the physical appearance,
fitness, or your position, or your
holding
status,
on to youthfulness beyond their, not losing the ability to grow with grace.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very, very imbalanced in the
Yes.
West. It's not as much here.
Yes.
It's something I've noticed. Like there's,
Yes.
and no one's judging one another,
Nothing.
and it doesn't appear that way. You know?
Yeah. So that understandings will happen when you sit there.
6 months that you did this one
Yes.
daily.
Yes.
How long?
There are many people will be there. This is the process.
And is it only people that are going through this type of spiritual development that are privy to come in and
No, anybody
present?
can see, but they will get scary. They will not come there.
Why would you want
Yes.
to, right? Most people aren't going to choose
Yes.
to go endure that kind of visual,
Yes.
because a lot of us, what would create in the mental health field, we would call PTSD.
Mm.
You wouldn't be able to unsee that.
Yes.
But you didn't want to unsee it. You wanted to understand it.
Yes. And get mature.
Get mature.
Yeah.
You guys, I love the language that Ramanyani uses. He says that this is like when you gain more knowledge, you're updating yourself, and
Yes.
that you're just getting mature. And it's such a basic, fundamental way of saying the truth. It's not, we're not. It's just updating. Everything updates. Your computer, your phones,
Yes.
everything updates. So
Yes. We also
gaining new
need to do
information updates you.
Yes.
And some people resist updates,
Yeah.
but you sought updates.
Yes. It needs courage.
It needs so much courage
Yeah.
and daily endurance. So the first day you went through the emotions, how long would you say before you were able to get to the point that you saw the separation?
See, it is not that one day, 2 day. It's not like that. Whenever we see the dead body, the emotions start coming because we have so much of emotional bondage.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, when you hear somebody dead, we'll go into sadness.
Yeah.
Even though we don't have any connection with them, for a moment we will feel for them.
Mm-hmm.
That is the emotional bondage which we have.
Yes.
Okay. So day by day, it is not that suddenly it will go away. It is the density of the effect in us, in the system, will reduce slowly.
So
When the thought comes, how we are not attached will happen as the course of time. When you see somebody is dead and burning the body, if you are a normal person, you will not able to face the fear of the death.
No, you're
Just
right.
avoid it and go away.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yes. Okay. This is not.
You don't want to see that type of thing.
Yes.
We have
fear.
We have crematories in the United States, and it is something that is done privately in a way, and you don't go.
Okay.
But this, my son, we had him cremated too.
Mm.
There was no question to me as to which direction to go with that.
Okay.
And so the fact that that's something that you did that you watched, it's like it makes me even brings comfort to me for my decision on what to do with his body afterwards. And so, you have that 6 months. And so how do you know when you're done with something like that?
It is not that only. That is the one process. So, means witnessing the dead bodies and gaining the beyond death experience is one process.
Right. How do you know when you're done with that part of the process, though?
So when it comes after some time, when you sit there, you will not have any thought process or any emotional coming into the system.
So whenever
it's like
present
a flow. Yeah, it is happening. That's it.
So when it becomes a mindfulness.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense, because you said something today when we were driving out to your land, and we were talking about
separate
dreams, or talking about sleep.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, you guys, he has so much knowledge. It's amazing. And I was like, I got 7 hours sleep, but I'm so tired. And so then he explained, the deep sleep, and he goes right into deep sleep, and he's 3 to 4 hours a night is enough for him. He said, such a profound statement. He's like, when you don't have thoughts during the day, then it doesn't interfere with you being able to move right into deep sleep at night. So
yes.
Brahmanyani lives in a constant state of presence.
Not that. Means
Constant.
being in the present. Being in the present.
And so because of that, he's able to just move right into sleep and not, he doesn't have a reel going in his head about the day and what's coming tomorrow and all those things like we do. So
yes. Yeah, I'll tell you what will normally happen to the normal people. Psychological worries and chronological planning. You understand? These two words: psychological worries, chronological planning. Chronological planning.
So psychological worries and chronological planning.
Okay. I'll give the example. For example, tomorrow we are going to do a ceremony. Okay. So for that we need to plan. Okay. So where is the land? Where is the place? How are we going to do puja? To whom we are supposed to connect with them and everything. That is the chronological plan that we need to do. Okay. So the mind always do both things. This also will do. The another one more thing that it will do. Okay, what will happen if it is not happen?
Yeah.
What will happen if the car is not?
The worry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What will happen if suppose rain comes? The same. The both side mind will work.
Another simultaneous that normal people do.
Yes.
You just do the planning.
Yes. So for the things to move, we only need a plan, chronological plan. We don't need a psychological worries.
I love that.
Understand?
Guys, we have to let go of psychological worries.
Yeah.
Chronological planning is enough.
So the people suffer because of this. They don't know the separation.
Oh my gosh, you're spot on. That is what we do.
Yeah.
And we create so much fear and anxiety.
Yes.
And then we turn it at night.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we kind of got off on a little topic there, but the presence of mind that you have when you reach that state by watching the bodies burn, then you knew it was okay. You had received what you needed to out of that experience enough that you could move to the next part of your journey.
Yes.
And there's so many levels to it. So I want the viewers to know about the amount of distance that you've walked to go to places, about what you've let go of the physical need for energy sources and things of that nature. But I don't know the order that things happen, so I don't want to create any discombobulation in the story. So whatever you want to go into next, but there's some intense things that you endured that people have no idea.
Yes. No one have idea. See, it is like there's the West culture and the East culture. The West culture is more into outer. The scientists are there to explore more into external things, like going to the moon,
or claiming to.
Yes, and find gadgets and all these things. What not? But here it's the scientists are more introvert, inner scientists. They are called enlightened masters.
Yeah, I can see that. And they're forever growing and adding new information, where science in America sometimes wants to lock down and say, this is it. Don't change any theory that we have. This is the truth.
Yeah.
And there's a resistance there.
Yes. So as Einstein told, when the science ends, the spirituality starts.
Einstein.
Yeah, Einstein told that wherever the science ends, there the spirituality starts. That means outer world, nothing.
Inner world, everything.
Yes.
So your inner world, you went through much to develop this spirituality. We were going to Friday, the first night I came here. We went and watched Amma, the Father Amma. I don't want to say anything wrong, but we went to a beautiful ceremony.
Yes, yes.
And we saw people walking.
Yes.
And Shanti asked you some questions about that. And they were walking hundreds of kilometers. They were on a path. And I just remember being, what?
Okay.
I can't even imagine. And then you've done some of that. So
Yeah.
tell the viewers a little bit about
Okay.
the walking that you've
So
done.
yes, even here, as I told you, there is a 14 kilometer of.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about that one.
So you can witness on full moon day.
Yeah. Okay.
There are lakhs and lakhs of people will walk in the mountain.
And lakhs
Arunachala.
are thousands, right?
Lakhs.
Yeah.
Around 10 lakh people. 10 lakh.
And lakh, I think, translates to thousands in America. Thousands of people. Like,
Not thousands. Million. Million.
wow.
Yes.
It's going to be so busy
Yes,
around
it's
here.
so busy around. Yes.
Okay.
So the custom is here, means the tradition is here. The Ramana Maharishi,
Yes.
the Maharishi, he is the one means encouraged to do this, saying that when you keep quiet, when the body keep quiet, the mind starts walking, means start running.
Mm.
Okay. When you start walking or running, when the body start functioning, your mind will become calm.
That makes sense. I pace a lot. And
Yeah.
so I do that a lot. So, and it is a form to relax me. That's actually, he says that, right. That's the reason I bought that, was the best course therefore is to remain silent.
Yes.
And so
So he encouraged to walk here, especially here, because it's a what to say, it's a spiritual hub, energy.
It's an energy hub.
Energy hub.
It's the 23rd gate to the Earth's chakra system. The Earth's will and spirit is so alive here.
Yes.
It's amazing. You can feel it. You can almost touch it physically.
Yes.
The energy here.
Yes. So on full moon day, if you walk for 14 kilometers, you will have tremendous transformation on your body and the mind.
On full moon day.
Yeah, here that is a custom.
Okay.
So same way, there is a custom, means there is a traditional cultural habits here. There is a temple in Tirupati, means next state. This is the Tamil Nadu one state. Province or something.
The province.
Province, yeah. Tamil Nadu, one Andhra, one temple. So like this in India, all over the states, there are temples. So the people will pray to God that, okay, if something happens, means if they want to manifest something in life. For example, I need to get married. Okay, if I get married, I will walk to the temple to honor you.
And so that busyness, that walking also helps them move out of the cycle in their mind about it to where the body's doing the action for them.
It is encourage the devotion and it improves their health.
Yeah, most definitely. I have been so sore since being here with all the walking.
Yeah. So it is not me alone walking all the thing. It's a what to say. This tradition is very rich. All this is very.
People are doing this of all ages too, with families and everything. You said it took you were telling Shanti that the track that they were on would be probably about 30 days of walking.
Yes.
How many days has been your longest?
For me, it's like it's years. It's like it's not continuously we'll be walking. So we, as a monk, once we renounce the family, we don't have anything. Just if wherever we get the food, we will eat. We will be having two cloth like this, one piece of cloth for upper body, one cloth for down. So
that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
No materialism.
No materialism. That's it. For to live, it's enough.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Wherever we will go, people will give some water or food. There is a culture here.
And they do take care of them.
Yes.
And the yogis don't ask for anything.
Yeah.
But they don't have to either.
Yeah. If it is available, it's it's like an animal. Means animals are there. For them, if a family is there or nothing, they will not bother about what is tomorrow we are going to do for dinner? No, they are not
Yeah, they're not thinking that far. They're not thinking ahead at all.
Yes. The nature is there to provide everything.
Mhm.
Okay, the same way, we will surrender to the divine. You take care of me.
What a way to live.
Yes. So we will walk with the surrender, with the surrender. We won't think about food, we don't think about the climate condition, we don't think about
No.
anything. We surrender, we'll walk. Whatever happens, let it happen.
Okay, so I'm hearing you say it's years of walking, but there's been some periods of time that have been continuous walks for you.
Yeah.
And I know there's been at least 30-day walks for you. And so this would be just stopping to rest and then getting up and going to get to a place of devotion. And to get, so you have traveled long distances to get to. So my question for you is for the viewers to really get an understanding of the endurance, the amount of days that you can recall, the furthest distance to travel for devotion by foot. What was that for you, if you can recall the longest amount of days that you traveled at one particular track to get to a place of devotion?
There is a place called Amarnath. It is in the Himalayas. So it will take 14 to 15 days to reach. So it is not completely in the night also we'll walk. No, it is morning will start. When the darkness comes, we'll stop. We'll sleep there.
Okay.
Like that only we'll
Yeah,
go.
but you have to
Night
let
we
your
can't
body
stop.
rest.
Yes, not only rest. In the night we can't walk because we don't have anything where to go. All that it is there. It's not night. So sannyas won't walk in the night.
Okay.
So until the day light is there, we will walk. Wherever the light is not there, the sun is not there, so we'll stop there. Whether it is a temple or a forest or a family, some house or road,
Yeah, wherever.
wherever happen, we'll stay there. That's it.
And let me tell you, walking in the sun in India is no joke.
Yes.
This heat here, you guys, I have had so much sweating here. You can definitely tell I'm a Westerner, and all these Indians are sitting around doing just fine, and
Yes.
I'm like, Brahman, I left my fan in the vehicle today, and luckily he brought it back to me. Just this little cheap fan, but it's been a lifesaver for me here because it's to endure this heat, and it's kind of a constant. You have some rainy seasons, but to me, it just creates more humidity. But that walk is not an easy walk.
Yes.
And I can't even imagine until you walk to the Himalayas.
Yes.
Oof. Wow. And so that's like, did you do that barefoot too?
What?
Did you have shoes on?
No, no shoes.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we hiked a mountain barefoot, and it was about a 2-mile hike, and it taught me much about being very present. I wasn't in my head. I was present with which rock to step on, watching for the monkeys to not steal my bag, realizing I should not have brought half the things I brought that I thought were the materialism, right? That I thought I needed. I didn't need. I just got to carry extra weight is what happened.
Yes.
That was my lesson for sure. So to walk for weeks at a time to get somewhere barefoot in the heat. Wow. This is the endurance that I wanted people to know, the level of devotion.
And one more thing, doing meditation. It's called Panchadabas. Panchadabas means, Pancha means 5. Tapas means doing penance. So as I told you, we'll make a round and sit inside the round. In the round, we'll make a fire. With the wood, we'll make the fire. And the daytime, the sun also will be hot. Around us, so it's a fire. So we'll sit and do the meditation.
So you increase the heat.
Yes, to increase the heat. Why we are doing it? See, it's a hot or a cold or any emotional like a death, anything should not be imbalanced you. That is a context.
To bring things back into balance.
Yes.
Okay.
Whether it's a cold or hot or any rain or whatever it is, you should be your own. You should not get affected with all these external world shortcomings.
So much we are though, and and especially in the Western culture, where people live every day on repeat or in competition, comparing, just thinking success has to do with money
Yes.
or materialism,
Yes.
and that's not the same thing as here.
Yeah. You will not get any peace out of that.
No. I have had, as a therapist, I have counseled many people that have millions of dollars, but they're still sitting on my couch unhappy. Yeah, so it doesn't bring it. So during the intense heat, while walking also, you would build this, or is this a different part
This
of
is
what
a different.
okay.
Yeah.
See, guys, there's so many different levels
Yes,
of
yes,
what we would call suffering. I absolutely would call it suffering. But I'm trying to use the word enduring as you became.
We will not call it as a suffering. It's a tapas. We will enjoy to do it.
So you're enjoying it.
Yeah, because I need to overcome my body and mind.
Mm-hmm. How do you convince yourself that's enjoyable? That's what I want to know.
How can I say that? Okay, for some people, trekking is enjoyable experience.
Yeah, tracking the walking for 15 to 30 days of walking.
No, I'm not saying about me. Even Westerners doing trekking, climbing the mountain.
Absolutely, and we enjoy hiking and things of that nature. Yes,
but for some people, it is not easy for them. That is a suffering for them.
Yes,
but you guys are loving and doing it.
Yeah,
understand.
And so because of your level of love for what you were doing, that's how it becomes enjoyable, because it's the mentality of it. And it's the same people that have those endorphins that kick in. If for runners, for fun, running is not enjoyable to me.
For some people, it's a.
So that's a nice analogy for me to understand.
Yeah.
But how did you? It's okay if we switch gears to energy consumption, and we talk about where we can get different. We think we need the breath, or we think we need food. We think we need different elements.
That is what as I told you earlier. See, all this is a program. As I told you, this is the hardware. Body is a hardware. What you are functioning is a software. It's a program. Already we programmed. Okay. All this society, for example, I can give you, when the child gets birth, it is no program. The system is there, available without program. Anything.
Yes. So before the neuroception and brain development happens, it's just pure, and it gets the influences. The program becomes the influence.
That is what I say. Conditions. You say influence, I say conditions. So all these conditions the child is taking from the parents, from the society, from the education, from the culture. Okay. For example, for you, maybe some people will take only 2 times a day food. Here 3 times we will eat. Okay. So something like that. It is a program happened in this system. Okay, from the childhood, some more about like a 10 to 15 years, the program will happen. How to get up, what to eat.
5 o'clock.
Yes.
What to eat, when to eat.
How to sleep, what to watch, what to speak. All this, the programs will happen. The same program only repeats in the whole lifetime. Okay.
And part of the programming is that you need food as an energy source.
Yes. So this is the program happened into our system. Like 3 times a day I need to eat. If not, I will be tired. I'm gone.
Yeah.
It is a program. Even if you program without food, you can program.
You had to deprogram.
Yes.
In order to change that that for yourself
Yes.
because you learned to live without food.
Food. Yes. So it's a reprogramming
Mhm.
in the system.
I have
Decoding.
to have the viewers know how long you went without food, because when you told me, I was like, what? How long did you go without food?
So I was there without food, like with only milk for 3 years.
3 years with only milk,
Milk means some like small quantity.
like just like one
Cup
glass,
of,
one cup
glass.
a day.
1 cup of day. That's it.
1 cup of
One
milk
cup
a day for
per
3
day,
years.
3 years. So that means it is not happened suddenly. It is a progress from the beginning. So I know that the how this body programs happens. So if we reprogram it, the body will obey for it.
Mhm.
We program to eat 3 days. That is why the body is asking when the time comes. Okay, I need food. That is why hunger.
Yeah, because we've got it conditioned to
Yes,
do
we
that.
conditioned to do that. Morning getting up, I need a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I know. My cups of coffees are like this small here, and I'm like, I'm used to in America we have a big cup.
So that is a condition.
Yeah.
Whether you remember or not, the body will ask you.
Yes,
The
it
body and
does.
mind will ask you. Okay?
And so you had 23 years basically of that type of mentality of eating the right, the
Whenever.
conditioned amount,
Yes.
and by the times.
Yes.
And so you had to
I have to
separate.
reprogram it.
Reprogram that. That's a lot of enjoyment for you,
Yeah.
suffering for.
But without knowing this understanding, we can't do it. See, the body, without knowing this, the system, how the system works, if you do it, it will be suffering.
Mhm.
If I'm not giving you the food, what will happen for you?
Well, I would probably get what we call hangry in America.
Yeah.
that hungry anger.
Yes.
People have emotions.
Yes, yes.
They go through
They'll go
emotions.
to any
And not-
any extreme.
and, and get dramatic.
Yes.
You know.
But for me, I had understanding that this is how the system will work, like programs. This is the hardware. There is a software inside. How we program, that is how the system will function. So I programmed in a different way. Now I am going to reprogram it. So this understanding gave me the courage, and that is why I am saying is a.
It is courage.
Yeah, it is not a suffering. That is why I'm saying it is not a suffering, because I know what is happening, what will happen.
You figured out what you were capable of.
Yes.
Along this way.
Yeah.
And because we are made up of the elements, you know.
Yes, Panchabhutas, 5 elements.
The
Yes.
5 elements.
Water,
and
fire.
Yeah, and so the air, it's something else we can go without. You guys, did you hear that? Breath, it's something else we can go without. And being able to go into the water or go into a deep state of meditation that you leave your breath, because that happens. That happens. And you've experienced that.
Yes.
He's experienced things that walking on fire, levitation. Like, these are things that you don't.
There are many things.
I don't. Those are just the small things that I've heard.
Whatever we are talking about, it's a small, because it's
But
a
massive
20 years
to
of
us in the
20 years
Western.
of experience. It cannot be explained in.
No, and I'm trying to grasp it in one video here, but like levitation's a personal goal for me. And I'm struggling with yoga positions. So, I have some distance to go. But because of the level of understanding that you have from separation, relying on one element of your being versus another, has that helped you move to those different places of, like, being able to walk on fire? We haven't talked. I asked you if you did it, and you said yes, and I stopped. I was like, I want to hear more about that, but I wanted to hear it with you all. So for the first time, would you share that with me?
Yes. See, there is a cultural event, walking on the fire. Means the science behind it is, when we walk the fire, when the moment when we think about fire, our whole system will be awake. First, the body, mind will be awake. The moment we'll walk in the fire, our DNAs, the whatever is there inside us, the inactive parts of the body will get awakened.
Okay.
There are many inactive organs, inactive, small.
That will bring you into the present moment really quick, won't it? If you step onto fire,
Yes.
you're not thinking, you're not having psychological worry
Nothing.
in that
You
moment.
have to be in the present. Huh? So that will give you the courage and that emotional, that fear. You will be able to come out from the fear once you walk on the fire.
Wow, what an accomplishment.
So it will not hurt you. That is a added point. The fire won't hurt you when you go with the devotion, when you go with the understanding that I am walking, I am also is an element, that fire also is one element.
You match the element.
Yes.
Okay.
So it won't harm you.
So you become the fire.
Yes, it will become oneness.
I get that. This is how that you move away from the earth element
Yes.
to the fire element. And that's how you're able to
you'll
do
feel
it.
the connection.
So when you're in the water and you're going without your breath,
Yes.
you become the element. You let your water element be what presents itself.
Yes.
Okay. Most of us live with the earth presentation then.
Yes.
Okay. Because that's where it's very tangible.
Yes.
It's the tangible thing.
So there are yogis. I can show you videos. There are yogis. They will roll on the fire. They'll sleep on the fire.
Wow.
Still witnessers there. There are yogis. So they had a connection with that element, fire, so that it won't harm this body.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. They can sleep there.
Yes.
And no burns.
No burns.
That's
They'll
amazing.
roam in the fire. There is the yogic capacity.
I definitely want to see some of those videos. That's amazing. Share them with me, and I'll share them with you all. So then that moves us into levitation. Then you become your air element.
Yes. So this, you will go that what to say, the earth, what to say, the force. When you become one with this, the space, the body mind, that material, the earth component, the fire component, the air component will become weightless.
You detach from gravity.
Yes, detached from the gravity.
The fire yogi. For the viewers, this is the fire yogi.
Okay, you can give the link.
Yeah. I'll share the link in the comments. So you see, he's laying on this fire. Oh, wow. Look at this, guys. Wow. That's amazing.
We'll roll on the...
There is...
There are many things.
We'll share that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has other ones too.
Yeah, there are many.
Whew, yeah.
Fire Yogi.
The fire of Tanjore.
See, he's on
The Fire Yogi is his name.
Yeah.
So Google it or look it up on YouTube. So you've done that. You've been able to do that and to
I was able to walk, not like this.
yeah.
not-
But if you chose to develop that part of you,
yes,
it's just wasn't your personal path of where
yes,
you
yes,
went.
yes.
And so and then the levitation, that which I was like, when you said, yeah, I have, like just so calmly, he's like, yeah, I've done that. And not in any, there's no arrogance, no arrogance with this man whatsoever, humble. And so even today, I know that it's a lot to even share all this. And I know I've touched on the things that I've known about, but are there things that I haven't asked that you would
There
like
are many, because what to tell, what not to tell. It's the whole life. It's experience.
yeah.
So if someone asks, I can.
It's hard.
Tell.
So let me think of a
Yeah.
good question. I wish this was live what we could ask. Let's see. Okay, you have been able to enter the other dimensions of that of places that exist in space and time, but not on a geographical location. Also, and so the 5 elements, one of those being spirit. I am making an assumption here, but I'm guessing that that's the part that you have to move into in order to visit
Shambhala.
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 This is a place that I have started channeling about earlier in the year, and I got the name before I knew what it was. And then I was like a little kid talking to him, which is like, oh, I was like, were you able to go to Shambhala? And yes. He's like, it's not a geographical. I was like, no. I understand that part. I know, like that's what's so amazing. And so, for the viewers that don't know what that is, would you share, please?
Okay. See, in our Sanatana Dharma, where it's Western culture, it's called Sanatana Dharma. Even the scientist understanding all this, how this Earth is, and all these other planets and everything. Our ancestors, like lakhs and lakhs years before, they found that there are other worlds.
Our ancient civilizations knew so much.
Yes. So the Earth is the mid. From the Earth, there are 7 logos up. There are 7 logos down. Okay. We call it as Bur, Bhuva, Swarga, like that. 7 logos. And down, lower logos, upper logos, like that. So when we go beyond this time and space, it is not psychological. That's what I told. That those logos are not physical.
No, not a geographical location.
It is not a geographical location. We can experience that when you go beyond your time and space.
And I've never heard of the 7 logos. And so out of I don't understand that. Is that where the darker, what we would call, what some of us refer to as the darker dimensions, or no?
No, it is based on your karmic baggage and how we lived in this life.
Okay.
We are going to experience those
the levels. Okay. So if you created karma and not as much dharma,
yes,
would you go on the lower side?
Lower side.
Okay.
If you kill people, if you eat meat.
Oh yeah, we're going to be talking about that.
That's why I told you there is much more there.
Okay.
So
there's karma that comes with that.
Yes, the karmic package. So you will lead a life in the lower worlds.
And are you able to reconcile when you go down there and be able to move into the 7 uppers?
Yes. you will take the birth again and again and
So
again.
this is when we come back, like this karmic cycle of life,
yes,
where we get
yes.
stuck in that
Yeah, it's a big
recycle.
chapter. We can discuss about in separate video.
We have so many. I'm going to try to get as many videos as I
Yeah.
can in while I'm here. But this is so when you where would you say the locations like Shambhala is in this
See,
7?
physically 7. That is what as of now in the Kailash. We call it as Kailayam. There, when you go physically, you can experience that Shambhala there. Even otherwise, here also, when you're able to move beyond your mind, when you go beyond mind, you will go beyond the time and space.
So it's the body, mind, spirit. So when you move to spirit,
you will experience Shambhala.
Because even here, because Arunachala Hill,
Yes,
which is also Shiva.
yes, for us means for those who able to connect with it. For some people, it's a mountain. For some people, it's a stone. It is. You understand no, the difference?
I do. And our Native American culture of America also see the physical earth as beings, you know, and so I've heard this before, and so it was easy for me to understand the concept and honestly to feel the energy. When you said that we were sitting in Shiva's lap that night, you know, I spent the night on the roof because of Shanti's snoring.
Okay.
So I felt it.
Okay.
I felt it. It was a beautiful experience to spend the night in the lap of Shiva and to wake up
and
in the lap of Shiva.
You are because you have a what to say, you don't know how, where you are, means many people are not able to come here and stay here, and you got an opportunity because of divine connection.
Divine. This is a divine mission for sure. Yes. And choosing to really be present and listen and learn from you and anyone else that's willing in the presence of Shiva. I was able to, you've seen me have several emotional experiences and exchanges at the different temples and in caves along the way. You've been present with me and held space for me through that. And it's because I've fully opened up to this experience. But the energy here, I could see how you, as somebody who is so cultivated spiritually, could enter Shambhala from this location. You don't have to be in a more likely location like there, because there's actually connection places all over the world into this. It's also known as Agartha, I believe, is another name for it, the inner earth. Okay. There's multiple names for it, or maybe it's multiple locations, and I don't know. Okay. But I know that there's several places that you can enter it, and Arunachala Hill is absolutely one of them.
Yes, definitely.
And so that's if for anyone that's listening that's like, what is this Shambhala that they're talking about? Will you give a little bit of insight on what that is?
Yeah, as I told you, it is a space where you will not find any whatever we are experiencing, the time and the space, the matter and everything. When you go in there, you will be like you will forget your own this world. Like when you go into dream state.
Yes.
There is no world in this world for you.
Right. It is a place of energy only.
Yes.
And it is a place where immortality exists.
Yeah. So same way, that is pure space where you will not have any idea about this time and this matter.
And you don't want to return to this. Yes. It's people at probably the closest thing that the viewers could understand would be a near-death experience, when you experience heaven or whatever it is, to where you're reconnected with the purity of energy and spirit. And then you get forced to come back into your human experience to finish your journey and not wanting to return. And my understanding is many people that have been able to access Shambhala experience the beauty and its paradise and its connection, and there's other beings there that you communicate with,
Yes.
you know, and it's not a place that you want to leave,
Yes.
but you have to, if you're still here in the physical world, you have to go back. And so, but you can re-enter if you stay in that place of
Whenever we
spirituality.
can go there, and it's like it's an experience, only an experience. It cannot be put it in word.
No, I've read a book, or I'm currently reading a book called The Land of Gods, which I got because I started channeling about this, and I was like, okay, what am I supposed to experience in this?
Okay.
And the you don't have to turn it on unless you want to. He struggles with the air conditioner because he's so conditioned to the warmth of here. Then you know me, I'm Westerner, and I got to keep it cold.
Yeah, that's right. I know it's getting.
Thank you. But it is better than the idea of heaven, because it's the reality of what it is. Because heaven's a curated reality where we stop ourselves based on religion.
Yes.
And Shambhala, there's no religion attached to any of this. So this is beyond. This is beyond a fifth dimension or whatever dimension.
Whatever is there in your logic, beyond that.
Yes.
Whatever you can think of, whatever you can imagine, it's out of that.
They struggle in the book to even articulate it. It's an experience, and it's a life changing.
If you put it in words, then it what to say? It won't give that meaning.
It waters it down some.
Yes, yes.
We went to this beautiful temple yesterday, and trying to capture the enormity of those the structures that represent the east, west, north, south. Yes. We took pictures and trying to get them from these, and you can't understand the enormity of these. Yes. And I think that's a good way to explain Shambhala. You can't understand it unless you experience it.
Yes, correct.
And
even now we are not even a percentage, even not even a 1% understand about this technology or the context why it is, the science behind it. No.
To create that.
Yes. That is what we know is it's a less than a percentage.
That place was created over 1,000 years ago.
Yes.
There's no way that our ancient civilizations did not have advanced technology. They had to create that. They are much smarter than we are now. We took ourselves backwards.
Yes.
And
materialistic.
Yes, we did, because of ego and materialism. And that this mission is about trying to restore the balance to where, which, again, I'm just doing some work. The earth takes care of itself. You know, she doesn't need us. We need the earth. And the ancient civilizations, our ancestors from thousands and millions of years ago knew that, and they worked together. That's where these temples were built out of indestructible items, because they knew that
what is there in the pyramid?
Destroy.
What is there in the pyramid? It's only a stone, like a. It is not the art. If you see here, it is not a stone.
No.
It's a cultural art, so it cannot made with the slaves or nothing.
It's each piece is unique.
Unique.
That hall was 1,000 pillars, and every pillar was unique. And it was generations and generations and generations.
Those days there is no communication facility. There is no gadgets or machinery like this nowadays. Modern machinery is like a JCB, crane. Nothing is there to move the stone.
But they got it moved.
Yes.
And it's like advanced. They had some deeper knowing and connection to the cosmos.
Even now this modern technology, there are many scientists or engineers. They are doing wonderful buildings, and it doesn't be there for 100 years or 200 years.
And they won't last.
Yes, but it is there for more than 1,000 years.
And there's some that's been there for even longer than that.
Yes.
But that's the one we experienced. Speaking of buildings, let's move over to what you're doing on what he would say is our land, but for the Westerners, he's acquired property in the lap of Shiva here, and he's creating an ashram. So let's talk a little bit about what you're creating, because this is where we're going to be doing ceremony tomorrow, and the energy out there, man, it's amazing.
There's no human intervention.
No, it's
Only
country,
natural, yes.
quiet. Where we're at now, we're right here at it, but you can hear the city. This is where you're at is very rural, and the connection you can feel the vibration of the heel all the way to your property. And so let's talk a little bit about what you're wanting to do out
Yes.
there.
Yeah. See, for me, it's nothing. See, as I told you, or you're aware of or not, my family is well versed in their wealth or whatever it is. So, for me, building means constructing a building and having this and that, I don't have any desire. It is only the purpose. Means I have something experience that I need to transfer to others.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mission.
The monk on the mission.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And motorcycles.
Yes. So yes, I do need a funding to make it happen. It will happen. The divine it source. All I'm saying is there are many places like this, but whoever be able to connect with can come here and experience this wonderful the land of Shiva.
You're going, so I was talking to my husband about the land earlier before we did this interview, and I was telling him about the rock on the center of your property out there. And he's like, so exactly, I said, I see it like a root that has come up of the mountain.
Yes.
An exposed root, exposed nerve in the center of your space. You guys, I encourage anyone to connect with Brahmanyani. He does do online spiritual counseling, but his insights and his education both go beyond just spirit. Like you heard him speaking about conditioning, so he understands about autism. He understands about neuropsychology. He understands
the mind
and everything that goes into it. Yeah. So your marriage stuff, anything, he can speak with you and help you through any of that. But what that is doing, if you're able to connect with him, what he's doing with that, he's not materialistic at all. Like he lives a very humble life, he lives in one room, and he's going to build a small shelter out on the property that's only going to take like 5,000 American dollars, I think, and he's making it out of earth, materials from the earth, that he's going to live there while he builds the residence hall and the meditation center for us. This is where he says it's our land.
Yes.
Because the people come.
Yes, and experience it without any all this unnecessary
the noise.
Yes, noise. And even.
And you change. I won't be the same person that I was when I leave my time with you, which our time won't end here. But for this 16 days that I have with you, I'm so valuable. But I encourage you all to connect with him now, and let's get this space built, because you're going to want to come here.
Yes.
You're going to want to sit on that rock. I sat there and I could literally feel the vibration of the mountain in this rock. So when I say, that's how I felt, like it was like an exposed nerve, because it's like pours this energy vortex. I'm covered in chills just talking about it right now. So it's nothing, just like Shambhala, I can tell you about it, but coming and experiencing it is something different. And an ashram is a place of worship. And someday, hopefully very far down the road, this will be where Brahmanyani's final resting place will be.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing here is that that is a place that people will come and honor him for hundreds and thousands of years, hopefully, because he has absolutely reached a level of will be an ascended master without question. And so to learn from someone who is an immortal, because you've reached that. Speaking of, immortality involves recalling past lives. Do you have recollection of your past lives and your experiences and other?
See, there are many things. If you want, we can go on decode. But to lead this means, if anybody wants, we can go on all that. But
Decode is the word he uses too. So we can decode.
There are possibilities, but for me to come to this stage, that is not necessary for me. So I have not.
Because you live in such the present.
Yes.
That you, but you know, like for me, for example, I know that part of my life's soul contract is to gain acceptance of the karmic debt of all my lifetimes in this lifetime, which has been intense. And in order to reach that level of immortality and to truly have it in, I have to detach from so much in this life. And you already did that, but your process was a little different. I'm choosing to try recall, where you chose presence only. And so there's different paths to this level of immortality. But so when I would say all of these saints and masters that are worshipped around here have chosen a path, they're different types, to get to this level that they have of sainthood. And this is, you're there too. So being able to have a place that my great grandchildren can come and connect with you. That's what I want.
Experience oneness.
Yes. So I definitely encourage you guys to connect with him. I hope that you've enjoyed today, getting just a glimpse into it. Yes, because we have conversations to have on vegetarian, and also you have much insight on autism. And that's near and dear to my heart and part of this mission. And I wanted to
discuss about karma, rebirth, many things we can discuss.
Many things. And we have a few days left, and we'll plug it in here and there. We've been talking for a little over an hour tonight, and I don't want to take up your whole evening doing recordings. So we'll wrap it up for tonight. And I appreciate this. You guys.
Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Yes. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to add your link in a comment on this video when I get it uploaded. And that way our viewers can connect there. So it goes beyond just the people that's on my Facebook, you know, so there's more people. I'm doing what I can to help people understand who you are, but to experience you.
It's not only for who am I, it will take you to who you are.
See the humbleness he is. It's not, he's like, it's not about me. But through your humbleness, it helps us be able to elevate who we are.
That is what my purpose.
And the self-acceptance and moving the bondage of materialism, like losing a water bottle. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you all for listening. I hope you've listened to the end.